Sophisticated for an interview and everything, but I really got to go to the bathroom. No. You going to ask me a question?
I'm going to ask you some questions,
Great.
Tommy. Okay.
Wait.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to ask you two.
Evening.
First of all, this is Tina and Tommy. Tommy is Mickey's youngest brother, and Tina is Mickey's youngest
No,
sister.
I'm not the
He's not the
youngest.
youngest. Fred's the youngest.
Yes, Fred's the youngest.
Fred's younger than you? Oh.
He looks younger than Fred, but you get confused.
Oh, okay. Well.
Oh, you're cute. You know.
Oh, okay. Well, let's cover this one up real good.
Yes.
Okay. So, the first question is, what story could you tell me that should be recorded about Mike and John Eva? Or particularly Mike or particularly John Eva? Which one wants to go first?
You go first.
You want me to go first? Just any story you want me to tell you about them?
Anything that should be remembered by their children and grandchildren.
Well, they were both really fine people. They still are. They're
Still are,
here,
they haven't
aren't they?
changed.
No,
You doing good?
I remember when we were kids, we had a paper out.
That good old paper route.
Yeah, and we get up early in the morning, and then after the route, we go up to Heitzman's Bakery and eat donuts and so forth. And
Who treated on this occasion?
what I always treated, you know.
Oh, you always
it's
treated?
like, you know, you rode in a car with me, so you pay for the donuts. It reminds me of the time that we went to the drive-in. You remember the Skyway? You know, it was before your time, where there was a Skyway drive-in out there off of Barchtown Road. I used to run around with this little Jewish fellow. His name was Mark Abraham. And Mickey used to date a lot of different girls. And he said, you can go to the drive-in, but you have to pay our way in. Of course, he didn't tell us this until we approached, to where you paid for the drive-in.
Wait a minute, excuse me. Where were you located in the car?
We were in the back seat, and he and his girlfriend were in the front seat. Well,
can you remember?
Some busy blonde or something, ding-a-ling. But anyway, you'd be in a car, and he'd say, by the way, since I'm paying for the gas to get you guys here, you're going to have to pay, our way to get in. Not just our way, but his way and his girlfriend's way to get into the drive-in.
Such the businessman.
Oh, yes, an early stage, too. But anyway, so we'd say, so this friend of mine, his name was Mark Abraham. That's a good Jewish name, He said, look, this isn't fair. I'm not going to pay your way in. So he hopped out of the car, and then he realized he was 5 miles away from home, and he came back meekly and hopped back in the car, and we paid Mike's way in. And then we would sit in the drive-in watching the movie, and he'd say, okay, it's time for you guys to go get some popcorn. We'd say, well, who's paying for the popcorn? He says, well, who do you think's paying for the popcorn? And by the way, when you go up there and get the popcorn, hang around a concession stand for about 45 minutes, will you?
Why did he want you to do that?
I don't know.
You still don't know?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Do you have any ideas about that, Tina?
A few.
A few? Can they be recorded?
No.
No? Oh. What stories do you have that should not be recorded about Dad?
That one.
That one?
No, he was a good guy. He really was. And we'd go out with, he'd take me to ice skating ring and football games. Yeah, he was kind of like a dad to me. He'd take me to St. X football games, and then he'd ask me, he'd give me a little critique on the girls that he'd go out with, and he'd say, now what do you think of that girl, Tom? And I'd say, well, I think she's really nice. But then when, he took your mom out, I thought, oh, she's really special. And I gave him my advice. I said, Mike, you ought to marry that girl, and I think you ought to have 4 or 5 kids, I was just joking, Yeah. He took me seriously,
He takes you seriously, Tommy. Everything you say, he takes it to heart.
We all do.
Does he really? Yeah.
Tommy's always been a very serious person.
I'm a very serious-minded person.
That's what I hear. Is there anything you
Don't go too far, Tina.
Is there anything, Tina, that you can say about Mike and John Eva?
About Mike and John Eva? Well, I just remember Mike taught me how to tie my shoe. That was real hard to teach me to do anything. But he had lots of patience, and he taught me how to tie my shoe. And I was remembering for his patience, and John Eva for her
had sandals.
patience. I had sandals on it.
Is that why you wore sandals all your life, Tina?
Yeah, he never taught me.
To this day, she has. Well, no, she doesn't even wear shoes. She forgot out of town.
Typical Kentuckian right here, you know.
Out of town.
You forgot
I have to go to him tonight and get him to give me another lesson.
another lesson on your shoes. Well, we thank you for your time and your interview. Is there anything
I
else you would like?
enjoyed it. You did a fantastic job, and you put this thing on, and it was really nice.
Well,
And
thank you.
your dad's a super nice guy, and he's done a great job with you kids.
Well,
he really
thank you.
has, and I'm proud of all of you. And just tonight, when y'all were up there, standing together, I thought that was great.
Well,
Great.
thank you. We enjoyed
And
it.
we love you.
Say,
We love you.
Oh, I'm glad y'all could come.
I'm just glad he's my brother.
Well, we'll be here.
Oh, and I'm very glad he's my father.
Yeah. Sure you
The next
are.
25 years, we'll be back here in 25 years
No,
to tell
no,
these
never
stories
tell a
again.
Never, never.
Sister-in-law. Love them both.
Love them both. They are great people.
And look at these little kids here. They're blowing out the candles. I wish my son was here.
It's over. Yes, it is, Rick Bay. This is Catherine
Mommy, you could never say
Boone.
one thing. Go ahead.
I'm Grandma. I'm not Catherine Boone.
Well, this is grandmother. This is
Grandma
my
Catherine
grandmother Boone.
Okay. I just want to say it's a nice party and I've had a nice time. I just wish Michael's dad could have been here with us. That's it.
Thank
Oh,
you.
he's probably looking down on us.
He
He's
is,
probably
definitely.
saying, Tom, you're making a fool of yourself like you always have,
But hey, nothing to do.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, well, every once in a while we make a fool of ourselves.
Hey, you have to be remembered somehow.
That's right.
You have to put your mark on society.
Sure. I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Should we ask Debbie about that?
I don't know. Yeah, Debbie. Debbie said, let's go.
Let's go. Thank you once again, Tommy.
Thank you. Thank you very much.